Greetings. Welcome. I'm Judy at the Peace Place, the penman of crayons, the founder of the Peace Movement. I bring you a thought provoking, challenging word today, and a word with the reminder that the creative love of the universe is still accessible and available today. A miracle working God that all things are possible as we believe. So today I invite you to join me as I bring you this prayer called Not Done or Resigned. Listen for the heart of God for your life, for your steps, for your purpose for still being on this earth today. Join me in Not Done or Resigned. Most now have stood on each side of the fence, where the rules of the game was to form defense. But what might be possible as we stop and think, evaluate what we want as we teeter on the brink of a world divided and mostly distorted. Behind the scene agendas were selectively sorted, much strategy executed or catapult the world into the hands of destruction to spin and swirl. Yet we can say stop. It is time to turn around. Experience the freedom this nation was found on and intended for mankind to be free. Yet we have split, must refocus, and willing to be united. United, not pretending and wearing plastic masks, but rather soul searching and preparing for the task of rebuilding and requiring that justice be applied rather than winking and spinning and much flat out lied. We must stop defending destructive agendas and stand for all people to be heard and return productively to the land. How often are we pawns and encouraged to outshout anyone not in agreement with what our agenda is about? To intimidate and bully the themes of this dark day, to terrorize and threaten extinction became the way we're controlled to forget who we are. We must say no more, for we've come too far to sit still and allow injustice to reign. Are we willing to see beyond one-sided gain? Are we willing to put power back into each vote and focus on the principles our founders wrote? Intimidation and power plays shoved to the front. Dibs are up on that play and destructive stunts. Are we willing to be misrepresented this day? Or will we require we're heard and here to stay? So many died for us to still live and be free. Hope will again surface as we resolve to be people willing to listen, understand, and work out every hard challenge. Yes, we are able and about restoration of our nation and our world. We are inundated with information, with agendas, with strategies, with well funded plans, and we do not have to continue to go astray. There is a straight and narrow way. There is a way for love to win. And as we search our hearts, we each can begin. Yes, we can begin to be part of the solutions. We can begin to care about love and life and abundance and joy and provision. We can begin to care that the love of God be known, not the folly of the way man uses the term love to manipulate, but I'm talking a love that's so great that God created a plan that each of us could become part of, knowing full well that each of us is unable on our own to do that, and set forth a plan that we could be part of the solution. God's will and God's ways are not like man's. His understanding is not like our understanding. And the greatest joy that I've learned out of this 7 decades of my life is that we can turn from those ways of our ignorance and our pride. We can turn to the ways where we learn to abide, that we can rest in the arms, the love of a holy God, and we can have that become our normal where it doesn't seem odd that we are one with Him, that we belong to God, that He can order our steps. So it doesn't make any difference how old we are. It doesn't make any difference what we have done in our straying paths. We can stop, we can turn, we can be healed, restored, we can be saved, we can be brought away from and out of our destructive thought patterns, our destructive opinions that we've held, the destructive and divisive ways that we have that we are faced with every single day. God's plan gave us the capacity to be able to hear His voice and be led by His love to touch those that are yet here on earth, that they can too become agents of peace, agents of love, filled with the creative power, the greatest power. God teaches us that it's not by our might, it's not by our power, but it is by His Spirit. When we learn to listen to the Spirit of love, the creative power of the universe, we can begin to walk in a place that we're real clear that as long as we have breath in our bodies, we're not done. We do not have to live resigned, that we can discover our part in this plan, regardless of how supported the agendas of destruction and division are out there. We can walk in the powerful way of the love of God, and we can learn how to do that because it's an unfamiliar way for most people. It certainly was for me. I had no idea that God was anything except mad at me and far and distant and away. And when I cried out to Him, when I saw the depth of the foolishness of most of the offerings of life, and I cried out to God and asked Him to use me as a vessel of His love and His power on this earth. And I asked Him to do whatever He had to do in, with, and through me to be able to be a mouthpiece in hands and a heart and feet that promote and walk the power of God on this earth. He gave me what's now referred to as the peace movement, continues to reshape, remake, remold every single day, and will do that for each one of us. But we have to be in a place where we desire that and that we call on Him for Him to lead and guide our lives too. I'm not talking about the flat hollowness that much religious ways have been expressed and are expressed on the earth today. I'm talking about the miracle working, creative, power filled love of God that is still able. So, as we believe all things are possible, we become one of the vessels that God can reshape, remold, and refine into the plan that He had for each of our lives. So, if this conversation, invitation is interesting to you, you're welcome to subscribe here on our YouTube channel. Tell others about us. You can find me at prayoms.com. That's prayoems.com. You can find us at thepeacemovements.com. Remember, it's the Peace Movements. That's about peace within first, bringing that peace to relationships, and then bringing the peace and the love of God to the world. This is Judy signing out for today, wishing you peace.